We'll talk about the other two February 6 movies in a bit, but now let's get a little Christmassy for a moment and talk about a scary Christmas legend that a lot of people aren't aware of these days, hence the title and the story of
my 15th most anticipated movie of 2015, known as Krampus. Now, this picture is from one of Legendary Pictures' free Christmas cards promoting the movie for the next holiday season, and aside from the coming to town line below it, this must be the film's logo. Anyway, I had no idea who the hell Krampus was until I saw the American Dad episode called Minstrel Krampus, and when I did some research shortly after watching the episode, it turns out that Krampus is a real legend like Santa Claus, who punishes naughty children instead of Santa giving them coal, and he has yet to have his own movie. I came up with an idea for a Krampus movie, but then on 2 occasions, I get slapped with a big fuck you to my face. This one, which I will see, is from Universal and Legendary, and the other one, which I have no interest in, called Anti-Claus, is from Kevin Smith. The good folks of Legendary have yet to give us a plot or tell us who exactly is playing Krampus, but it could be a fun horror comedy to watch in time for the holidays. However, I'm still a skeptic on releasing the movie in December instead of November like most Christmas movies, as this movie comes out 3 weeks before the holiday. Oh well, as long as they don't release the movie on home video in early 2016 instead of Christmas of that year, then I'm happy.
Now, before we move on, here's what my Krampus movie would have been like if I didn't get fucked in the ass. It would have been called Krampus, the Demon of Christmas. It would have had a similar story to that of the American Dad episode with a little more serious tone. It would have had a badass Santa Claus like an American Dad, and it would have me as Krampus portraying him in a similar way as Angelina Jolie portraying Maleficent. Oh well, it's like what I've told myself when I found out that there's already going to be a Goosebumps movie in 2016, which I would talk about what my vision for it would have been like for next year's video. It's time to move on. Anyway, there are that's right, two Pixar movies coming out this year, and the first of the 2 movies,
taking the number 14 spot, is Inside Out. The last Pixar free year we had before 2014 was back in 2005, and boy, that was scary. However, the Legendary Animation Studio is back with 2 original stories this year, and the first of those 2 apparently doesn't have me all that excited as it should, but it could get there. This crazy new vision of theirs tells us what their theory is as to who guides us in our minds and what these emotions could be like. It's good that the studio is back to their original roots aside from Brave in 2012, and this new movie's accompanying short film Lava also looks stunning, but to be honest, I have no idea how a story like this will work for a whole frickin' movie. However, this is guaranteed to be the studio's next big summer blockbuster and Oscar contender.
So this is the first time in history that Pixar will actually show 2 movies in 1 year, unlike their previous attempts to pull that stunt, but it's still a skeptic move on their part. So, the second of the 2 Pixar movies this year,
and taking the number 13 spot, is The Good Dinosaur. The second of the 2 Pixar movies coming this year is one I'm actually more looking forward to than the last movie I just talked about. What's better than a story of a little girl and her emotions? A movie showcasing what life would be like if the dinosaurs were still alive, and this movie is the one. It asks the generations-old question: what if the cataclysmic asteroid that forever changed life on Earth actually missed the planet completely, and giant dinosaurs never became extinct? Well, it tells that story and shows one particular dinosaur hanging out with a little boy. Originally, the movie was supposed to come out on the day now taken over by Maleficent, but because of the story problems and some of the crew members leaving the project, Pixar needed more time to finish production. Hence why we now have not 1, but 2 movies from Pixar coming this year. This one comes out in time for a Thanksgiving holiday in America, and it will surely be a heartfelt ride for moviegoers and Pixar fans of all ages.
And now to move on from talking about Pixar and to talk about what might be DreamWorks Animation's only movie to come out in 2015, I'm referring to
my 12th most anticipated movie of the year, known as Home. Now, this was supposed to come out last November, but the good people of DreamWorks Animation had a better idea. Switch the November 2014 and March 2015 release dates with Penguins of Madagascar so that both movies can be hits. But the Penguins having their own movie became a flop, and when the switch was announced, I realized one major cast problem. At first, I thought that the guy voicing the protagonist, Jim Parsons, was from the decent comedy series Community, but that was Joel McHale. JP is that gay guy from one of the most annoying sitcoms on earth called The Big Bang Theory. Seriously, I cannot believe I got those two guys mixed up. Oh well, the movie's more important. Plus, the short film that was shown in front of Mr. Peabody and Sherman and Rio 2 last year called Almost Home was freaking hilarious and was quite the prequel sneak peek short film mix of a treat. Aside from the homosexual Jim Parsons, the voice cast also has a nice lineup of supporting actors comprised of Rihanna, Steve Martin, and Jennifer Lopez. So, despite the major cast flaw mentioned and postponing the movie, I'm still looking forward to this, not just because it's DWA's next big original story, but the trailers were just hilarious. Why? Because what makes the movie even more entertaining is a fat scene stealing calico cat named Pig. So I can't wait to see more hilarity from him in the actual film.
And okay, Jim Parsons' character O does put a smile on my face, especially because his alien race called the Boov aren't entirely aware of everything that lives on Earth. I mean, I still couldn't get over O's first encounter with a urinal. Moving on back to the horror genre, coming out in time for Halloween, and
My 11th most anticipated movie of 2015 is Victor Frankenstein. The only Frankenstein-inspired movies I ever liked were Hotel Transylvania and both the short film and feature film versions of Tim Burton's Frankenweenie. Although when I first heard that Daniel Radcliffe got the role as Igor, I was immediately hooked. Of course, that's what the picture shown here is, which shows Harry Potter on the set of the film as a surprisingly undisfigured Igor. Nobody knows what the plot is yet, but other than Daniel Radcliffe as Igor, the cast also includes James McAvoy as Victor von Frankenstein. Overall, now that Daniel is done with Harry Potter and hasn't made a good movie since, this version of a classic horror story will be very interesting to see. But all we have to do now is just wait for the first trailer to arrive and show us the magic.
And if anyone asks, no, this is not part of Universal's reboot Monster Cinematic Universe, as this Frankenstein movie is made by 20th Century Fox and not Universal. Anyway,